shit, no wait.
Fucking hell, I just hit the record button.
Shit, no wait, I think I forgot the fucking trailer.
Are you serious?
I'm being serious, I completely forgot the fucking trailer.
How do you forget the fucking trailer?
I only watched it once, okay?
Oh my god, I just hit the record button the moment you said, no wait, I forgot the trailer.
Hold on, just 2 minutes.
Okay. God.
Wait!
Are you fucking kidding me? Or are you just fucking with me this time? Mother of God. This is the actual one. I'm gonna use both clips. Fuck it.
My headphones are down.
Wait, Marcos, no!
God damn it, you timed it perfectly.
Legit?
Yes, I just hit the record button and then you just said that.
Wait.
Are you fucking kidding?
I just did that for the laughs.
Oh my god. Okay, well, yeah, I'm definitely using the bloopers. Fuck it. We're just gonna roll with it here. Hello everyone. Welcome to the SlutCast. Jesus fuck. With 3 bloopers to go about with you. I am here once again with...
Introduce Guy first.
I'm waiting for one of you to introduce... Sorry, say that again, guy.
Hi,
You are who?
guys, senpai.
Okay. And then the other one.
Alright, guys. Star Killer Cosmic coming right back at you again.
Okay.
Hi.
And then there's an extra in the background.
Hell?
Today we're gonna be talking about Star Wars, fuck it.
Yep.
Anyway, so, fun fact, Gene and I did a Disney's SlutCast, like, days ago. We finished it up, we wrapped it up before the hurricane hits us, and it's been all Gucci. However, right when or at least sometime before I finished... Huh?
Also, the motherfucker didn't hit us.
Yeah.
Like, I bought, like, 4 boxes of water bottles. Dorian just didn't do shit.
Dorian's like, nah.
Dorian was just like, Maria fucked him up real good. Like, I'm not gonna do this.
Anyway, what was I saying? But, like, sometime later, Star Wars Episode 9's trailer dropped in, and I couldn't cover that in the last video because it didn't come out when that video was made. But now we're all here, and I figured if we were going to talk about Star Wars, we needed to bring the one and only Guy.
Yeah.
So, I think right out the bats, we've already seen the trailer. Gene had to refresh his memory just now. That was blooper number 1, in case. So, I think the biggest question is, what did you guys think of the trailer?
Sorry.
Gene.
Sorry.
I mean, it's good for a Star Wars trailer. I mean, it really reminisced back to Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith trailer way back when. And I feel like it's going to be just the same with Rise of Skywalker.
How did it remind you of Revenge of the Sith trailer?
It's pretty much the same. It's reminisces back to the original trilogy, and it ends with shots from the Revenge of the Sith movie.
What?
It's shot for shot. It's the exact same trailer.
I don't think it is.
Okay, well, whatever.
I remember Revenge of the Sith trailer, and it's not even close. I know it has...
The teaser trailer where they start with original trilogy footage.
Oh, okay. I mean,
That's what I mean.
Okay. Because I was about to say, like, I know it, like, has, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting in the lava planet Mustafar, but, and this one ends with Rey and Kylo Ren fighting in the water planet. But I guess that's, like, the close, and then Rey being Dark Rey, I guess that's, like, the closest similarity to Revenge of the Sith. But it's, like,
we'll leave that later. Like, we're not going to talk about that right.
yeah. I don't know, like, I'm a little bit conflicted with it because on one end, it does have this whole, like, literally the music is what's playing, the music that plays in the background, it's like, yeah, remember, you're excited for Star Wars now? Like, remember loving Star Wars? It's like, huh. It's kind of dumb for me that it played, like, like a good minute and a half of it is playing the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy's films. Even The Force Awakens and Last Jedi, like, you know, just like, did it really need to do that? Like, if it was setting up for this final battle when it clearly wasn't. I mean, that's just my perspective.
True.
But if you had to give it, like, pros and cons on, like, the trailer itself, what did you guys like about it and what you disliked about the trailer? Like, give me, like, a little rundown about it.
For me, it was like the beginning of it, like, when it was going through like different planets, different aliens and shit. I thought that was pretty cool. It's always good to add more because the Star Wars universe is so fucking big. You can keep on adding, and there would be no limit essentially. But that part where, like, just Darth Vader breathing and Sidious and Rey's red lightsaber. For my personal opinion, I hope it's like an illusion or, like, something like that.
That's what I was thinking, because it's like, I feel like it's a little bit too early that, you know, to have Rey, not too early, but I feel like with how Last Jedi and Force Awakens went by, like, I feel like Rey being evil all of a sudden, I don't know if, like, if right now is the right time to set it up. Like, I don't know. I do think it's kind of like the way the shot, like the way that scene is shot. It's like it definitely seems more like it's like a fake scene. Hold up, give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Hopefully, today's become like the how to in top 10 ways to interrupt the SlutCast. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I forgot.
I think it was like
I have no fucking clue.
I remember that. Huh?
Talking about the trailer.
Yeah, I know that's what we're talking about, but like the good things and the bad things, I think like the pros and cons. Like I think Guy was explaining that to me.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, what?
Can you repeat like your pros and cons for the trailer? Like what did you like and what did you dislike about it?
I like the effects that they added stuff from the OT and prequels. I thought that was really interesting. All those stupid scenes with Rey with the red lightsaber and all that. That's just. I really hope it's just some illusion.
Oh yeah, that's where we left it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just my pros and cons.
Oh wait, so what did you dislike about it?
Rey having a red lightsaber, like, fuck, bitch, no.
Fuck, bitch, no. Alright, Gene, what about you?
Well, first things first with my pros, I would say obviously watching footage from the original trilogy. That's always a joy to watch. And the prequels. To all you prequel haters out there, fuck you.
I'm one of them, man.
Well, okay, pros and cons.
You like completely wrote that off.
Well, I liked watching Rey and Kylo Ren fight. That gives me some Mustafar vibes.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like this trailer was completely vague in its terms. The only way that I can talk about the trailer is Dark Rey, which I did like in a certain aspect because she's obviously not going to turn to the dark side, but I also have a different theory about that. But I don't know, like she could be a clone, just like in Force Unleashed, what they did with Starkiller. She could be Palpatine's vessel. She could be whatever. Like it really has a ton of possibilities to what Rey could turn into in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I was like the character, since she has like a lot of mystery. You know, I think by The Last Jedi, when they try to explain like her backstory, even that seemed kind of vague, and not gonna lie, it felt like Kylo Ren was sort of like fucking around with Rey, like get her to like realize that she had no purpose into the story. So it's like it seems still like a very open way to like, you know, explore Rey a little bit further, explaining her backstory a little bit more. Because Rey's been like a very mysterious character in Force Awakens, and I believe, like I think I mentioned this before, but Rise of Skywalker, based on its teaser trailer, did kind of feel a little bit more like a sequel to Force Awakens, I guess you can say, in terms of its tone.
Yeah.
It could be mostly because of the director, really. Yeah, you're saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say that because it's J.J. Abrams and not Ryan Johnson. I mean Ryan Garbage Son.
What? Out of all the ways you can literally
came up with that.
Ryan Garbage Son? Okay. Like
Ryan Bitch Son.
Okay.
Never make a Star Wars movie ever again.
Well, speaking of like Ryan Johnson, I think one thing that I've like heard like or not really interviews, but like some sources regarding the Rise of Skywalker is that this film's gonna try and ignore like a lot of the decisions that Ryan Johnson's made in Last Jedi. So this is my biggest question: how do you think this film can improve on the Last Jedi's decisions? And don't say Luke has to wake up from a nightmare and the events of the Last Jedi never happened.
God damn it!
No, that's my answer. That's my answer. You're not. I'm not gonna have you take that away from me.
Have your own answer. That's like everyone's answer. Be original.
Good. That's also my answer.
Okay, well, based on like the context of what we know of Rise of Skywalker, how do you think?
I think it's going. I hope it's a good movie, but I lost a lot of faith in Star Wars. That's all I'm saying.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like The Last Jedi, even though it was a polarizing movie, we all know it's still gonna take place right before Rise of Skywalker. So even though we can
before.
No, after. I said after.
You said before.
Alright, whatever. The thing is, we can all come up with these little theories of like, oh, Luke just woke up from a nightmare or some shit like that, but even though I would love it to be true, obviously, I still kind of want to see all the possibilities that J.J. Abrams can give us right after that trash that The Last Jedi gave us.
And there's one thing that The Last Jedi did like kind of leave out completely. How do you think the Knights of Ren would actually play a role into the story?
They should have been, bro, from the first movie, man. Even just a little bit. They should have been.
All right, but if they're now that they're actually going to be in this one for sure because it's been confirmed.
I expect a lot.
Okay, what do you expect?
I expect to see them fighting and whooping Resistance ass. That's what the fuck I'm expecting.
Like any character dynamics, anything that you would give them.
Obviously, badass character, like personality wise, but honestly, I want to see them have a meaning into this fucking story, bro. For real.
Okay. Gene?
Well, when we're talking about the Knights of Ren, I feel like they were doing Palpatine's bidding in a way, because if Palpatine's going to be in The Rise of Skywalker, then what really was his plan with everything? Because if J.J. Abrams says that it's going to culminate, this saga is going to culminate connecting all of the Star Wars movies together, then I feel like the Knights of Ren are going to be taking a huge part of that story. And what I feel like they were doing is collecting Sith artifacts for either Palpatine to enter as a vessel. I mean, for Palpatine to enter those artifacts, and the artifact to be a vessel for Palpatine, because that was actually a storyline in a comic. And
I think that was also Kylo Ren's concept at first.
yeah, but this storyline actually was with a Sith. I don't remember if it's a Sith, but he's called Lord Momin, and it was an Vader comic. It was an Vader comic, and I feel like that's what they're going for with Palpatine. I feel like he's just going to transfer his essence into... I think it's going to be like Darth Vader's helmet, where we saw it in Force Awakens, and how Kylo Ren was feeling an essence from the dark side from it. I feel like that was Palpatine. I don't know. But
what scene you're talking about?
In The Force Awakens, where he's talking to Darth Vader through the helmet, but okay, he thinks he's Darth.
Oh, Kylo talking to Vader in the... Okay, my mind went that Palpatine was talking to the helmet. I'm like, the fuck is this boy smoking?
No. Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens.
I know, but like my mind went to Palpatine speaking to the helmet, and I'm like, what?
I feel like Palpatine's essence is inside the helmet, or it could be like roaming around the Death Star that we saw from the first trailer of The Rise of Skywalker. Like, Palpatine's gonna be either in essence form or just normal Palpatine form.
No.
He's gonna take someone's body and possess it in some way. But I feel like that's what they're gonna do with Palpatine. And the Knights of Ren are going to focus on finding the artifacts of the Sith, because in a Vanity Fair article, they did mention, I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but they did mention that the Knights of Ren were looking for Darth Vader's lightsaber, or one of his artifacts.
Okay. And I have a question. Like, before anything was like mostly established, I remembered in The Force Awakens they mentioned that some of Luke Skywalker's pupils, if they weren't killed by Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren, some of them have joined Kylo Ren. I doubt this is going to be a thing, but how would you feel if the Knights of Ren, rather than just being like generic guards, they're actually also former Jedi Knights themselves, and they were all like transferred to like Kylo Ren's side? So this time you have like an army of Siths to begin, like, for example. How would you feel that would...
I think that's what they're going for with the Knights of Ren. I feel like the Knights of Ren are just an organization that joined forces once they left Luke. And I feel like the Ren and Kylo Ren is just Kylo expressing his leadership towards that organization.
Okay. That's pretty much all I can think of with the Knights of Ren at the moment. Like, I just think that, you know, it's been like 2 movies since they've been established, so I just hope that they do something.
I feel like that can explain their absence from the 2 previous movies, Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, that they were just on some random treasure hunt.
Yeah. Okay, well, if that's the excuse, like, that's, of course, like, if they actually do come up with a reason for having them completely absent, I do hope that they actually do play something, otherwise it's just going to be a wasted potential. Anyway, the next thing, at the top, let's see if I can remember. Well, we already talked about Palpatine specifically, but I think one thing that caught many people's eyes during the trailer is C-3PO. Red-eyed C-3PO.
Yeah, C-3PO was definitely trippy.
So, what is your theories, I guess you can say, about evil C-3PO?
He's high.
God damn it.
He took some gas and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, bro, that motherfucker got too high. That's exactly what happened.
Okay. Real answer?
Yeah, that is my answer. You think I'm fucking playing?
Yes.
No.
3PO was tripping.
It's Tripio now.
Shut
See.
the fuck up. 3PO was tripping on R2D2 or fucking BB-8's gas. Like, he took it and fucking smoked it.
Motherfucker.
What other purpose does BB-8 have other than being...
Comic relief.
No, 3PO's...
Blunt.
3PO's dealer.
I guess you could say. I guess you have a point there.
But all jokes aside, I feel like my answer is going to be the
Palpatine.
right answer.
Okay.
And it's just to sell toys. That's it.
I thought that was going to be like an in-story reason.
No, Force Awakens has C-3PO with a red arm.
Yeah.
Last Jedi, I think 3PO wasn't even in the fucking movie.
He was. He just didn't have anything red.
Okay, so this time, 3PO has red eyes. Oh shit.
What are they gonna call it in the fucking Pop Toys? C3PO, C3 red-eyed C3PO, or again with my initial name C-Tripio.
Yeah, it's just 3PO. They're just gonna sell 3PO toys. That's it. Like, 3PO's not gonna be fucking Palpatine's essence or some shit like that. Because, for one, it's a robot body that can't basically do any physical things other than fucking walk or walk fast. So, that's it.
Debatable in Lego Star Wars. He's mostly walking slow.
So, Palpatine's essence or vessel, for me, has to either have the physical attributes to actually do the spinny thing that he does in Episode 3.
The spinny thing.
If 3PO can't do the spinny thing, then he can't be the vessel.
Damn. So it's just like a programming error. I mean, I did the stupid brainwashing thing in Revenge of the Sith. But whatever. Moving aside, there was like another scene that caught my attention at least, and that's really because of how outspoken I've been, of how sick and tired I am of the fucking Death Star. Like, you know, A New Hope and Return of the Jedi had their take on it. Then Force Awakens made Starkiller Base, which is basically a bigger Death Star. And then Rogue One comes out, and it's an entire movie based on a Death Star. That, like, there in the teaser trailer, you did get to see like the remains of one of the Death Stars. I'm assuming the one from Return of the Jedi specifically, since, you know, we're going by Palpatine's essence. That's like the most logical one. Do you think that the Death Star will actually play like a role into this film, or at least because there was a scene where you got to see like a laser blast, almost equivalent to that of like a Death Star blast? So with that in mind, do you think there's going to be like some sort of underwater Death Star, or they're going to make another Death Star? I mean, they did like a shot where they shot
an underwater Death Star.
I don't know, man.
Well, I don't think that Death Star is going to be in any possible way correlated to the fucking Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I feel like the only way that the Death Star is going to be playing a role is only in finding Palpatine's essence. And that's it. Or, I feel like, because in one of the shots of the first trailer, Rey is holding a backpack which probably has like a battery to power up the Death Star again. turn on its lights or whatever.
The fuck kind of shit that just came out of your mouth? A battery that turns on the Death Star?
No, like she has a backpack or something in the first trailer. So I would
When?
guess that she has like I would guess that she has like a back to tank or something to turn it on, or like a kyber crystal or some shit like that. I don't know.
When did she ever have a backpack? I don't remember that at all.
She has something in her hand, like a backpack or something.
Where she kept her lightsaber? I don't think she had AA batteries for the Death Star.
Well, how do you think the Death Star is gonna turn on?
Palpatine's essence.
Wow. Really? It's gonna turn on the fucking Death Star? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Guy, give me your thoughts on the Death Star.
The Death Star, I think it should just stay fucking.
Just stay fucking what?
Just stay destroyed. Just don't. Just fucking leave the Death Star alone.
But like, there's like a shot where you see like a laser blast that almost looks like a Death Star. Like, do you have like?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's just like a big dreadnought or something like that. But I'm hoping it's not the Death Star.
Never seen like a I don't think a dreadnought's ever shot that, but okay.
I feel like it's one of
Actually, no, it has.
Star Destroyers that Palpatine built way back when. I feel like they're gonna use it in this Rise of Skywalker trailer in the Rise of Skywalker, because I think the laser came right after the big Star Destroyer battle or whatever in the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I feel like it's just gonna be a Star Destroyer.
Not only that, but like I actually, the moment one of you mentioned that it could be like Guy mentioned that it could be a dreadnought. Actually, it could possibly be a dreadnought because, in the beginning of The Last Jedi, they did try and fire at the base, and the light and the blast was almost that same equivalence.
Maybe it's just a bigger Starkiller base. Who knows?
Fucking hell, no. No. I'm gonna be stubborn as hell and just like ignore its existence when we watch the movie.
Or better, a smaller Starkiller base.
Oh, fuck off. I mean, at least he didn't say an underwater Starkiller base.
Oh, god damn it. This isn't Aquaman, Marcos.
So I'm going to shoot myself if I see another fucking Death Star. Like, 4 films is whatever. 5 is just too much now.
Well, moving aside from the Death Star, why don't we talk about the character known as Zori Bliss and what she's going to do in the movie?
Honestly, I don't have any idea. Zori Bliss?
Everybody's coming over the fact of, oh my god, Zori Bliss, another bounty hunter. Like, what's she going to do in the movie?
Is she the one that's next to Finn in the second trailer when they see all the dreadnoughts?
I don't know, I think.
Because that's like the only new character I saw in that trailer that at least like I didn't recognize her at all, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it could be her.
Because like if it is her, isn't there like some people that theorize that she could be Lando's daughter?
I don't think it's Lando's daughter.
I hope not. I hope not really, but you know.
Because Lando's actual love was L3, and we all know that.
Fuck off. I can't.
I mean, it can be Lando's daughter.
Maybe it's Lando and L3's daughter.
No. You know what I feel Zori Bliss is going to be?
What?
I feel like Zori Bliss is the bounty hunter that left Rey in Jakku. I don't think that it was the parents who left Rey in Jakku, if she does have parents or something. But this can explain the Force vision in Force Awakens, even though if she does have parents or if she doesn't have parents.
Okay.
Because if she is a clone, Zori Bliss could have been the one that left her in Jakku. And if she does have parents, her parents could have just given her to Zori Bliss, and Zori Bliss would have been like, fuck you.
I was gonna say, fuck off, I ain't taking care of this child.
Yeah, so she could do either of the two things, and that would explain whose ship flew in The Force Awakens to leave little child Rey.
But isn't Rey now? I would ask her like, can they go both ways by saying that Rey's a clone, or do they have to go with one direction, like having Rey actually being abandoned by her parents to a filthy junk trader, or would they just go with the clone? Because I don't know if it works both ways.
I feel like they can go both ways, because it could be like she is still a clone and then she was adopted by two random junkers. Like, I feel like that story could go that way.
Damn, that's like a lot of exposition. Like, that's something that should have been like told in a different Star Wars film. If you catch my drift.
Because I feel like these movies are following what The Force Unleashed already did. Because Starkiller was just adopted by Darth Vader. Well, she could just be adopted by two random junk traders, but this time she's a clone of Palpatine.
But Starkiller had parents before. Darth Vader just killed them.
Yeah, but but what I'm trying to say is that
I forget sometimes that guy's still here and then he's just laughing at a pure random.
What I'm trying to say is that Rey is, bar none, almost just like Starkiller, because Starkiller is also very powerful with the Force. Rey is also very powerful with the Force. Starkiller could beat fucking Palpatine with almost little bits of training, because again, he was just an apprentice.
But I bet Rey can beat Palpatine.
And Rey is in this movie going to beat Palpatine or Kylo. I don't know.
Or both. Why not?
Yeah, or both.
Oh, I thought you were gonna lead with more after that.
But I don't know. Like, I think Zori Bliss could be that character that explains to Rey who she actually is. Because if you don't remember, in the teaser trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, we saw the same ship, or a similar ship, that was in Rey's Force vision from Star Wars The Force Awakens. So I feel like that could be Zori's ship. And she can explain who Rey's parents are, or who she is, or where Zori herself found her. And if she is a clone, then she can explain everything. And if she does have parents, she can explain, oh, your parents were just junk traders. They didn't give a shit about you.
When you say that, like, in the teaser trailer, you see that same ship, what scene are you, like, referring to? Because, like, whenever I think of, like, the ship in the teaser trailer, I always think of, like, that TIE fighter that Rey outran in the teaser trailer.
No. Right after that scene, where we see, like...
Oh, like when they enter, like, the snow planets? Or some...
Yeah.
Okay.
Where we see, like, a little city.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even make that...
The Force vision.
I didn't even make that comparison, because I know it isn't the Millennium Falcon. I just thought, like, it was just a ship. I didn't really think about that, to be honest. I'll have to rewatch that scene and just look.
The Force vision. So... And all of the promotional art for Zori Bliss's character looks like that same city. And it fits the description. So I feel like Zori can explain who Rey is or where she came from. And why she does have a connection to Kylo Ren.
Okay. I gotta ask both of you, like, a somewhat of an important question, because it's going to lead to another question I have regarding it. But you've both been pretty outspoken of your distaste towards The Last Jedi, but I need to ask, what were your thoughts on The Force Awakens to this day? Maybe, like, it's probably different when it first came out, but did you think that The Force Awakens still carries a sequel trilogy?
It had a really good start to a new trilogy. It had a really decent start, but when The Last Jedi came out, it completely just fucked up the sequel, man.
Okay, would you still say that The Force Awakens, like, is either a good movie or still holds up to on its own?
Oh no, it's a good movie. I'm I'm not giving it like it's a shit movie, but it like all movies, they could have done things a little bit better.
Right.
I think for them doing a movie after what like close to not even like 10 years, something like that. Doing a movie again, you can't expect perfection, but it was a really good start.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about you, Gene?
I mean, Force Awakens is a good movie. I don't hate it because I only see Force Awakens as a reintroduction to Star Wars. Because again, this is the first. Force Awakens was the first live-action Star Wars movie from what, like 10 years?
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005.
Star Wars movies.
Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005, and then Force Awakens came out in 2015.
Yeah, so a literal decade of no Star Wars movies.
Now look at us now. We have 5 Star Wars films in the span of 5 years.
Yeah, so.
All right. Now the big question is, with that in mind, and with the decisions that Last Jedi did, and I guess was what many people consider J.J. Abrams to try and fix the Star Wars franchise. Do you guys think that The Rise of Skywalker can still be a good movie, or B, a good movie, B, a good conclusion to the sequel trilogy, and I guess with what the film is marketing, can it be a good conclusion to the Skywalker saga, or is it just like kind of like a failure from the beginning?
Only time can tell, bro. That's all I can say.
I mean, yeah, but never mind. Only time will tell is kind of like an easy answer to say.
I feel like this movie's gonna pull a Revenge of the Sith and be the movie that defines the prequel trilogy.
What?
I mean, the sequel trilogy. I feel like this movie is not gonna be the redheaded stepchild that was The Last Jedi, and it's not gonna be the hate bandwagon train that Force Awakens is.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the new TV shows of Star Wars, like The Mandalorian, Season 7 of Clone Wars, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm 100% looking forward to it.
All 3 of them? Or, are you excited for one thing more than the other?
No, I'm excited for both of them. All 3 things,
Okay.
Because you have to understand, knowing that Disney now owns, Star Wars, there are going to be a lot more content, and you have to understand, not getting a movie after 10 years, that's a lot. And now that we're getting TV shows and all that,
yeah, we're taking after
we need something new, because don't get me wrong, the old stuff are amazing, but it gets stale, after a while.
Yeah. After Rise of Skywalker, there's gonna be a hiatus of Star Wars films. I just only hope that the next films are not the Rian Johnson trilogy or the D&D trilogy, because I don't want either of them touching a Star Wars film.
Wait a second, D&D?
Game of Thrones, the directors.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a whole other ballgame because that's an Old Republic trilogy.
Okay, I mean, that one could actually work because, the directors of Game of Thrones actually proved that they can do much better adapting as opposed to making their own original content anyway, so maybe it'll be good.
Again, it was their fault that Game of Thrones flopped because HBO gave them 3 more seasons to wrap up Game of Thrones, and once Disney called them, they were like, well, I think it's time we drop this series, and yeah, let's move on to better things like Star Wars, not this trash that you put out, George R. R. Martin, right? Now, I'm not saying that Game of Thrones is trash. I'm just saying that this is what the Game of Thrones director said once they.
I would literally have laughed if you had just said, I'm not saying that. I would have laughed if you said, I'm not saying that Game of Thrones is trash, but awkward silence, it's trash.
However.
So I mean, guys, since you weren't in the last podcast when we were talking about, because we talked about Disney Plus as a whole, and we talked about The
Disney Plus
Mandalorians.
what?
Huh?
Disney Plus what?
The streaming service, Disney Plus.
Yeah, what about it?
Like Gene and I did like a SlutCast like almost a week ago, regarding the streaming service, and we touched upon the TV shows that Star Wars is going to be having. Since we're going to be taking a break from the movies, it seems like they're just migrating towards the TV shows. I think the biggest question like that we had was is it worth buying the Disney Plus streaming service with those shows alone? I mean, we had like multiple examples, like the Marvel Phase 4.
You could throw down like what is it? I think it's not even 60. No, it is $60. Because if you
It's for the entire. That's for the entire year though.
For 1 month, it's $10, right? So in total,
No, it's actually like $6.
$6. Well, listen,
I was told it was 3.
You could pay $60 for 1 whole year, and not only that, you get all Disney movies. Not even just Star Wars. If that's not what you're on. Oh shit, what's that thing?
Yeah, there's like Marvel, Pirates of the Caribbean, Pixar, the Disney animated films, and even the crappy live action films.
Exactly.
Plus the Die Hard remake that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't know if you want to go a little bit more in depth with like say Mandalorian or Clone Wars, but as of right now, that seems to be like the end of Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. This is officially the shortest SlutCast ever made, and quite frankly, the one with the most bloopers.
That was unexpected.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a little bit longer.
So did I. Like, you would think that for a film that's like a sequel to a film that everybody can go like 3 hours talking about and go into different directions, scene by scene, like picking it apart, you would think that the sequel would have just as much to talk about. But like the thing about Episode 9's trailer is that it kind of spoils a couple things, but it keeps it vague to the point that you still don't know anything.
Well, this is the thing. I feel like the big spoiler that they gave, Dark Rey, I feel like everybody is like, oh no, that's not Rey, that's not Rey. Well, I have another theory, and I feel like that is Rey.
I was going to say, like, you better not say it's just to sell toys.
I feel like it is Rey, and she is going to go to the dark side, but
She's going to turn
like
back?
5 minutes. For like 5 minutes. She's going to be in the dark side for like 5 or 10 minutes just for one single thing. Just to like defeat Palpatine or something.
I was going to say, wouldn't Palpatine be controlling her body like that? That was like another theory we had.
No, just like they did in Force Awakens where Finn was holding the lightsaber. But then in the movie it's not Finn, it's Rey who's the actual Jedi, where everybody thought Finn was going to be the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think this time it's going to be just like the same twist, but differently, because I think Disney's not stupid. Like, as a company, I don't think they're stupid. I think they're greedy and scummy and
I was going to say.
devil. But they're not stupid. Like, they know how to advertise their movies. And I feel like Rey is going to turn to the dark side because... Also, you don't want to alienate the fans that are going to come back to Rise of Skywalker when they hated The Last Jedi. Because maybe the only reason why they're watching this movie is because Rey is going to turn into the dark side, and that's what they wanted for The Last Jedi.
I think that's mostly out of curiosity, to be told.
And also, you don't want to alienate the fans that love Rey and don't want to see her turn evil. So I feel like they're just going to do both at the same time.
I mean, and if
quick second.
And if you never liked Rey since the beginning, well, you're fucked.
She's gonna turn to the dark side for like 5, 10, or 20 minutes, just like I don't like this comparison, but I have to say it. Like in Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Oh my fucking god.
Goku and Vegeta had to join together to beat Broly, and I feel like she could do the same shit with the dark side to defeat Palpatine or to defeat the greater evil.
Oh shit! I just remembered another thing that we could talk about. How do you think Snoke? Do you think Snoke could actually be explained in this one, or do you think they're going to drop the ball with him? Because J.J. Abrams created Snoke with a lot of anticipation. Ryan Jones is the one that's deemed him to be unworthy. Even though Snoke is not going to be in this film, do you think that there's going to be an explanation on how Snoke came to be, how he formed the First Order, and if we'll get some degree of a backstory for him?
Yes.
I hope.
I think my main concern with this film is that, I feel like this film's gonna try and answer a lot of questions. Huh?
You know how they can explain it?
How?
It was Palpatine all along.
I was gonna say, part of me thinks, I know they're gonna explain it, but I always get this feeling that no matter what they explain it with, I don't think it's gonna give us, a satisfying answer. I feel like, regardless of what they tell us, they're just gonna somewhat bum out a couple of people that are like, oh, that's it all along? Okay. So it's
I feel like it was Palpatine all along because...
pulling the strings. I mean, he came out of nowhere.
Exactly. So if you're bringing back Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, and he wasn't the villain for Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I feel like the way you can explain Palpatine's return is that Snoke was Palpatine's vessel for those years, and Palpatine himself brought back the Empire, just with a different name as the First Order.
I remember there was I saw a film theory about the name first, when they talk about the name of the First Order, and I feel like the First Order was a name that simulated that this was the First Order of Palpatine's post-death or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
think they can explain it that way.
It doesn't really explain anything in the last two films, but I remember there was mentioned in some comics. So I just hope that actually does get explained in the next film. Otherwise, a lot of people are just gonna miss that.
Yeah, I feel like Snoke can be explained that way, it was just Palpatine's vessel throughout those movies. And it can also explain why Palpatine is suddenly the villain for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, this bastard does not want to die.
Yeah, and I feel like this Snoke and Palpatine also correlates back to Revenge of the Sith and how Palpatine was talking to Anakin in the opera.
The Darth Plagueis scene.
Yeah, how he cheated death and everything, and how he could transfer his consciousness to another being, and I feel like that's how he cheated death.
I think this film. I think that's nice that they do bring them. I like that they bring in homage to the prequels, because remember back then that when Force Awakens came out, they wanted to exclude the prequels' existence, but now it's we're bringing the prequels into existence again.
I also feel like that was the sequel's downfall, because a lot of people shit, I don't want to say it.
What? A lot of people don't like the prequels, you were gonna say?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the prequels, but again, they added a lot of world building to Star Wars. So
I don't think it's really the
prequels. If you completely ignored the prequels, then you also completely ignore the Old Republic and all the other previous incarnations or adaptations of Star Wars that George Lucas gave.
But let's see what happens with The Rise of Skywalker now, because now that they're acknowledging the prequels again, it's although I think Last Jedi also gave some homage to the prequels when they acknowledged Darth Vader's backstory, allowing Palpatine, how the Jedi's failed to stop Palpatine from, turning Darth Vader to a Sith Lord and having the Jedi's to near extinction. The fact that he made the reference of that, which is a huge callback to Revenge of the Sith, it's at least nice that they're at least acknowledging that, yeah, okay, the prequels are still canon, and I feel like it was just The Force Awakens that really tried to ignore it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. All we have at the moment. Again, this trailer is pretty vague, but it tells us a lot, but it's also really vague, so we don't really have all the answers. This is just our quick synopsis of the trailer itself. So, any final words, Guy?
No, that was it.
All right. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this little.
One thing I do want to say is.
Oh, Gene with the final words.
All right, JJ.
You kill off
I
Ryan.
find that you're having a trend with killing all of the original characters. I can dig it with Han because Harrison Ford wanted him dead since like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But once you kill Luke and Leia.
That was Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mary Poppins.
Ryan was the one that killed off Luke anyway. JJ didn't even want to kill off Luke.
Once Ryan Johnson killed Luke, to me that was the last straw.
Yeah, believe it or not, JJ actually had plans to keep Luke until episode 9. And even then, I don't think he planned to kill him.
Once you kill Leia and then bring her back for no fucking reason, and you're bringing back Lando,
Disrespect. Disrespect.
I really don't want them. I really hope they don't kill off Lando.
But at the same time, I'm not excited for him to die.
That would be fucked up. Like, because like I did see like there was like a reason why they actually were trying to kill off the original cast, because apparently like George Lucas still gets profit out of these new films as long as they're using the characters that he made. So it's like, well, we just gotta kill them and then he won't get any profits.
God damn it! The same shit that they did with Spider-Man. Oh, if we make Iron Man his mentor and have a lot of references to Iron Man, then Sony just won't have to use him then. Holy shit!
Oh shit, Gene's mad. The Disney rant is back.
I don't blame him.
Gene, just think about the Mandalorian.
Now you're making a new Boba Fett, huh?
Shut up, they failed with Phasma. Alright, well, I guess that's enough for tonight. Thank you to both of you for showing up to the SlutCast. And thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in the next one.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Goodbye, good night, and farewell.
Later, sluts.